63% of Americans could not cover a $1,000 unexpected expense without going into debt. Not because they earn too little, not because they are financially irresponsible, because they were never shown how to build the single most important financial foundation that exists, an emergency fund. And the absence of this foundation is why so many people feel like they are one bad week away from complete financial collapse. Because they are. If you have ever felt that sinking feeling when your car makes a new sound, if you have ever avoided going to the doctor because you could not afford the potential bill, if you have ever had your stomach drop when an unexpected expense appeared, you know exactly what financial vulnerability feels like. It is not poverty. It is the absence of a buffer between you and disaster. And that absence creates a level of stress that affects your health, your relationships, your sleep, and your decision-making every single day. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build a basic emergency fund in 30 days. Not 6 months, not a year, 30 days, starting from zero, with whatever income you currently have. And I'm going to show you the psychological shift that makes maintaining that emergency fund not just possible, but genuinely easy, even for people who have never been able to save money before. Before the 30-day plan, let me explain why most people do not have an emergency fund despite knowing they should. The reason is not willpower. It is the wrong order of operations. Most people try to build an emergency fund after paying all their bills, after all their expenses, after all their wants, with whatever is left over. The problem is, there's never anything left over. An emergency fund built from leftovers never gets built. The only way to build an emergency fund is to pay yourself first before anything else. Before rent, before groceries, before Netflix. The emergency fund comes first, and then everything else fits around it. This feels backward. It feels impossible. But it is the only method that actually works. Here is the 30-day plan week by week. Week 1. Your only job is to open a separate savings account dedicated entirely to emergency, not your checking account. A completely separate account at a different bank if possible. This separation is psychological. When your emergency fund is mixed with your spending money, your brain sees it as available to spend. When it is in a separate account, your brain categorizes it differently. This week, also calculate your absolute bare minimum monthly survival number. Rent, minimum food, utilities, transportation, not comfortable living. Survival. For most people, this is 50 to 60% of their normal spending. This is your emergency fund target for month 1. 1 month of survival expenses. Week 2. Start funding. Your goal this week is to put the first deposit into your emergency account, even if it is only $50, even if it is $25. The amount matters less than the psychological shift of seeing money in that account that exists solely for protection. This week, also identify 3 expenses you can eliminate or reduce temporarily, not forever, just for the next 30 days. Subscription you are not using. Food delivery you can replace with cooking. Entertainment expense you can pause. Find $100 this week from spending cuts. If you find more, great. But $100 is the minimum. Every dollar you find goes straight to the emergency account. Week 3, accelerate. By now you have momentum. You have proven to yourself you can save. This week, find $200 in additional cuts or additional income. Additional income could be selling something you do not use. Old electronics, clothes, furniture. It could be picking up 1 extra shift if that is possible. It could be a small freelance task. The goal is $200 of new money into the emergency fund this week. You're also going to set up an automatic transfer from your checking to your emergency account on the same day your paycheck hits. Even if it is small, even if it is $25, automate it this week. Make it permanent. Week 4, the finish line. Your goal this week is to reach your survival month target you calculated in week 1. For most people, that is somewhere between $800 and $1,500. If you are not there yet based on weeks 2 and 3, this week you find the gap. This might require a larger, uncomfortable cut, skipping a social event, delaying a purchase, eating from your pantry all week instead of grocery shopping. Whatever it takes, the goal is to end the 30 days with 1 month of survival expenses saved. Once you hit that number, you have created a financial buffer between you and disaster. You are no longer 1 bill away from collapse. You have breathing room. Now here is the psychological shift that makes maintaining this fund easy. Most people think about their emergency fund as money they are not allowed to spend. That framing creates resentment. You worked hard for that money, and now it is just sitting there unused, making you feel deprived. Here is the reframe. Your emergency fund is not money you cannot spend. It is money that is already spent. You have already spent it on the most valuable thing you can buy, peace of mind, and financial security. You spend $1,000 to eliminate the constant low-level anxiety of financial vulnerability. That is not deprivation. That is one of the best purchases you will ever make. The moment you reframe your emergency fund from money you cannot touch to money you already spent on security, maintaining it stops feeling like sacrifice and starts feeling like protection. After your first 30 days and your first month of survival expenses saved, here is what happens next. Month 2. Add a second month of survival expenses. You already proved you can save the first month. Repeat the process. Month 3. Add a third month. At this point, you have a 3-month emergency fund covering 3 months of survival expense. This is the standard recommendation, and for most people, it provides genuine security. But here is what also happens. The process of building the fund teaches you that you can save, that you can reduce spending when necessary, and that you have more control over your finances than you believed. Those lessons are often worth more than the money itself. The most common objection is, I barely make enough to cover my bills. I do not have extra to save. And I take that seriously because for some people this is genuinely true. But for many people, the survival budget calculation in week 1 reveals something surprising. You are spending more than survival requires. The gap between your current spending and true survival spending is where your emergency fund lives. It is not extra money. It is redirected money. If there is genuinely no gap. If you are truly at survival level already, then the emergency fund has to come from increased income, not reduced spending. Week 3, selling items or finding extra work becomes critical. The path may be harder, but the destination is the same. 1 month of breathing room. Here is your action starting today. Open a separate savings account this week. Calculate your monthly survival number. Set a 30-day target to save that amount. Then execute weeks 1 through 4 exactly as outlined. 30 days from now, you will have something 63% of the country does not have, a buffer between you and financial disaster. Subscribe to this channel because we are going deeper on budgeting, income building, and the path from emergency fund to actual wealth in upcoming videos. Comment below, do you have an emergency fund right now? Yes or no? And if yes, how many months does it cover? Let us see where everyone is starting from.